Fourscore and 7 years ago, our country was something.
Yes.
Can you guess what president said that?
Yeah, that was old Abe. Honest Abe.
And who was the one that, never told a lie and cut down the
That was Georgie Porgy.
And what does that mean? It's
President's Day.
It's coming up President's Day. So
Yep.
all of you people read about the presidents and know who Washington and Lincoln was.
Yep.
I hope you school kids know and learning all that stuff.
That's right. That's right. Hello and welcome to your old news update. I'm Izzy Fitz.
I'm Bud Driscoll.
And let's shout out to our sponsors today. Eagle Crest Retirement Community, 1501 East Magnolia.
Woo-hoo.
Headley's Clothing, 1829 South 9th.
Yeah.
And Smoky Hill Museum, 211
West I am.
Right,
And you can learn a lot about history.
That's right. You can go over there. Topping the headlines from yesteryear.
Okay, February 17th, 1989. From Dateline, Lincoln.
Lincoln, that's that way.
Cattle rustlers struck a pasture in south central Lincoln County on Wednesday, getting away with 21 head of cattle worth about $15,000.
21, that's a lot.
Lincoln County Sheriff Don Panzer said the cattle, which belonged to Paul and Dolores Buttonhoff, were loaded into a dual-wheel pickups hauling trailers. The tracks from the vehicles, along with footprints, were visible in the snow. It's hard to hide 21 head of cattle,
Yep.
in your backyard. But I hope they found them.
Yep.
And cattle rustling could get you hung back in the Old West.
That's right. You could have lost your life there. Maybe
That's
you
right.
did.
Maybe.
February 20th, 1939. L.E. Van, Smolin farmer, was taken to Lansing today by Under Sheriff Paul Shanahan to start serving a 1 to 5 year term in the state penitentiary. Van pleaded guilty late last night to grand larceny, charges involving the theft of 3 dozen chickens in the nighttime from a neighbor, Theodore Holmquist.
That's more than
Bet old Teddy was mad.
That's more than a year of chicken. Wow.
Man.
Okay, here's another sad and sordid story.
Sad and sordid.
From February 20th, 1914. Workmen excavating for a new residence at the corner of 11th and South today exhumed the remains of 3 bodies which had laid there more than 40 years. At one time, a cemetery was located on the corner, but some 40 years ago, this ground was sold off in lots, and at that time, the bodies in the cemetery were all supposed to have been moved to Gypsum Hill Cemetery, but it seems that many of them were not taken up at the time for the reason that perhaps many of them weren't marked. Yeah. The cemetery was a private one on the H. Morrison farm. Many persons were buried there, but no deeds were given to the lots, it is said by old-timers.
Old-timers.
And they know. C.W. Lynn, who recalls the discovery of other bodies under similar circumstances, said that one of the bodies exhumed some years ago was found lying on its face, which led to the theory that the man was not dead when he was buried and he turned over in his grave.
Oh, man.
You know that old cliche about turning over in your grave? That's be really
maybe
true.
it happened.
I know.
All right, 125 years ago today, on February 20th, 1889. Yesterday morning was one of the saddest accidents that occurred that ever happened in this city.
That's right.
In the early part of the forenoon, Bert Garver went to the home of his friend
Theodore.
Is that how you say it?
I know.
Theodore White Jr., who lives 1.5 miles northeast of the city, to spend the day hunting. Bert and Tom were in the sitting room of the latter's home talking. Mrs. White, being present, heard some talk relative to a revolver, for which Tom had traded a rifle. Both boys then entered the dining room, Bert having an old-fashioned Army revolver and Tom an American Bulldog .38, which they began snapping at each other. The amusement had continued only a short time when the revolver held by Tom was discharged and the ball entered the left cheek of Bert, causing almost instant death. An inquest was immediately held which brought about the above facts. The jury brought in a verdict of careless use of firearms with no felonious intent.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's a careless use of firearms.
Criminal stupidity.
I know. Darwin Awards. And lastly, but not leastly, February 20th, 1889. A tramp was caught stealing from a clothesline across the river yesterday, but outran the officers. I
Man,
mean, some of those tramps are
that's a swift tramp.
a swift tramp.
Read more about the way things used to be in the look back section of Monday's Salina Journal.
And you have a good President's Day,
Yes, sir.
and we'll see you yesterday.